Welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into the intense and emotional story of Rebirth 2023. Get ready for a tale full of mystery, science, and the lengths a mother will go to save her daughter. The movie opens with a mysterious woman named Dr. Rose, a pathologist who lives a quiet but deeply unsettling life. In an eerie opening sequence, she visits a bar where she discreetly signals a man. The man is lured into the bathroom where an automated medical device extracts his sperm, a routine that seems disturbingly familiar to her. Rose collects the sample and returns home alone, revealing her reclusive and obsessive lifestyle. Meanwhile, the story shifts to a chaotic emergency. A pregnant woman in critical condition is rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. Despite the medical team's best efforts, the woman tragically dies during childbirth. Her newborn, however, survives, or so we think. Dr. Rose, who is also working in the hospital, is assigned to perform the autopsy on the deceased woman. It's a scene that sets the tone for the film's chilling exploration of death, science, and morality. Rose is shown to be cold and hyper-focused on her experimental research. Her social skills are minimal, and her obsession with her work borders on pathological. She's so immersed in her studies that even a colleague's phone ringing during a procedure deeply annoys her. Her sleepless nights and robotic lifestyle speak volumes about her hidden motives. Parallel to Rose's grim world, we're introduced to Leah, a warm and devoted nurse working in the same hospital. Leah is a single mother who deeply loves her young daughter, and their bond is one of the few moments of genuine emotion in the film. Leah visits her daughter in the hospital, showing the softer, human side of the story, a stark contrast to Rose's sterile world. Meanwhile, Dr. Rose continues her disturbing routine. She visits the same bar, finds a different man, and once again uses her custom machine to extract his sperm. Back at home, she meticulously prepares a strange diet for what we assume to be an experimental procedure. In a disturbing twist, she self-injects the sperm, implying that her research has crossed deeply unethical lines in the name of science. One night, Leah wakes up in a panic from a nightmare. Her instincts kick in, and she rushes to check on her daughter, urging her to get dressed quickly. Something isn't right, and the fear in Leah's eyes signals that the real horror is just beginning. After getting ready, Leah hurriedly leaves her home and visits her neighbor's apartment. She asks the neighbor, a somewhat quirky woman, to look after her daughter for the day as she is running late for work at the hospital. After ensuring her daughter is safe, Leah rushes off, fully consumed by her demanding hospital duties. At the hospital, Leah is overwhelmed and constantly pressed for time. She barely has a moment to rest or communicate with her daughter. Meanwhile, her neighbor keeps calling, trying to update her about the child's condition. Once Leah is finally discharged from Khairabad Hospital, she immediately heads to her neighbor's house, only to find it empty. However, a letter left behind reveals alarming news. Leah's daughter, Leela, has suddenly fallen gravely ill. The neighbor explains that she tried repeatedly to reach Leah but got no response. Concerned, she took Leela to the hospital herself. Upon arrival, Leah is shocked to learn that Leela is pregnant, a revelation that shakes her to the core. The neighbor urges Leah to leave the hospital and return home, but Leah, overwhelmed and angry, flees in despair. Meanwhile, Leah's investigation leads her to the pathology department, the same place where postmortems are conducted. There, she wanders around anxiously until Dr. Rose appears, confronting her sternly and warning that no unauthorized person is allowed inside. Desperate for answers, Leah approaches Dr. Rose inquires about Leela's condition. Rose dismisses her, claiming Leela had a medical examination an hour ago, but has since been transferred. Rose provides Leah with the contact details of another doctor for follow-up. Leah calls the number given but learns the department has been mysteriously shut down. Frustrated, the next day she visits the department in person but finds no helpful information. Determined, Leah decides to confront Dr. Rose directly. However, when Rose spots her outside the lab, she quickly flees. Leah chases after her, but Rose escapes into the parking area and disappears. The following morning, Rose returns from the market and is confronted again by Leah in their housing complex. Leah pleads, promising not to disclose anything, but only desperately wanting to know the truth about her daughter's death. Rose refuses to discuss the matter and retreats into her apartment, locking the door behind her. Unwilling to give up, Leah forces the door open and enters. Inside, she finds her daughter hooked up to numerous machines, appearing weak and isolated. Leela is connected to a mysterious doctor's equipment and seems deeply troubled. As Leah faces this heartbreaking scene, Dr. Rose's presence looms ominously. Leah firmly forbids anyone from touching her daughter, fiercely protective of Leela. However, Dr. Rose insists that without further examination, Leela's condition will worsen, possibly leading to her death. Rose claims that Leela is still alive, which surprises Leah and others present. Rose explains that Leela suffers from a rare genital disorder, making her fundamentally different from others. She reveals that Leela has become the subject of an ongoing experimental research project at C-Film. Rose proudly states that this experiment has brought Leela back to life. She shows them a photograph of Leela before the experiment. When questioned about Leela's age, Rose reveals that Leela had technically been dead for about 2 months before the experiment revived her. She discloses that a special serum is applied regularly to stimulate the regeneration of dead cells and maintain Leela's fragile life. Rose believes this experiment is groundbreaking, more significant than anything they have encountered so far. Leah, deeply upset, protests vehemently, insisting that her daughter is not a mere experiment, but a living person deserving respect and care. Concerned for Leela's well-being, Leah questions who will look after her properly in this unfamiliar environment. Rose agrees that Leela can stay with them only if Leah returns home for some time. They decide to take turns visiting Leah's house to care for Leela, ensuring she is not left alone. Meanwhile, Leela undergoes daily pregnancy tests, which reveal that she is pregnant. This pregnancy is crucial for the experiment's progress. Rose's research depends on Leela carrying the pregnancy forward. The film then explains the procedure Leela underwent to conceive, highlighting the scientific and emotional complexity of this process. Later, Dr. Rose instructs Leah to bring certain medicines from the hospital to aid Leela's care. Leah complies and leaves. Alone at home, Rose notices an unusual blue discharge during her health routine. She carefully collects the discharge in a container for further analysis. Upon Leah's return, both women inspect Leela's condition again, adjusting the medical equipment and observing the changing color of the blue discharge, which seems linked to the experimental serum. The next day, Rose's health deteriorates rapidly. She feels dizzy and weak, eventually losing consciousness. When she wakes up in a hospital bed, she anxiously asks the attending doctor if she is pregnant again. The doctor responds negatively, explaining that Rose's uterus has been severely damaged due to excessive bleeding. This revelation worries Rose deeply, as her condition threatens not only her own life, but also the continuation of the experiment. After returning to her room with Leah, Rose is surprised to find her looking exactly like a patient, weak, Each day, Leela shows signs of gradual recovery and eventually regains consciousness. When Leah asks how long Leela has been awake, Rose replies that it was only a short time ago. However, Rose worries that Leela should not have woken up yet, as the serum keeping her alive had already expired. Leah insists they will recreate the serum, but Rose explains it is not that simple. The serum can only be produced using fetal tissue, which comes exclusively from a pregnant woman. That is why Rose made herself pregnant, to provide the necessary biological material. Unfortunately, this process severely damaged Rose's uterus, forcing doctors to remove it. Despite the challenges, Rose reveals to Leah and Shilas that she believes she has found a new approach. She eagerly reviews her notes, determined to continue the research. Shortly after, a friend visits Rose and shares that she recently became pregnant as well, offering to donate her serum, her blue. Rose explains that the serum is incredibly rare, and Leela's serum had been a perfect genetic match, obtained only after great difficulty. While talking to her friend, Rose remembers she needs to check hospital records to find out if any patients with a similar blue have been admitted. She immediately visits the hospital to investigate. Upon returning, Rose tells Leah that she has found a pregnant patient whose records were tampered with. This patient will need to come to Shilas for testing. Leah expresses concern about troubling the patient unnecessarily, but Rose reassures her that there is no danger to either the mother or the child. The film then shows a tense moment where serum is extracted from the pregnant patient. The serum is injected into Leela's abdomen, right above her baby's head, a risky but necessary procedure. The patient expresses some suspicion, but due to the close-knit family bonds, the situation is managed without further issue. Back at home, Leela's condition continues to improve significantly. She is seen playing and eating, supported by Rose and their friends who assist with her care. Rose tells Leah that they will need to call the patient in for monthly tests until the baby is born. Leah worries. No mother would willingly subject her unborn child to repeated injections so close to the cervix. Still, she understands that these tests are critical for monitoring the baby's health. This procedure is necessary to save Leela's life. From that point on, Leah takes on the responsibility of bathing Leela and encouraging her to walk, supporting her recovery every day. A few days later, Emily returns to Leah, this time extracting more serum from Leela's abdomen. Emily informs them that they are moving to a new house because the hospital is too far from their current home, making regular visits difficult. This change worries their friends as continuing the treatment will become more complicated. When Leah returns to her room, she shares this news with Dr. Rose, who becomes visibly upset. Rose insists that they should have found a way to prevent the patient from moving, but now it will be nearly impossible to track her down again. Rose emphasizes how rare it is to find someone with a matching blue serum and stresses that time is running out. That night, while Rose is examining Leah searches the hospital records and finds the address of the family's elder patient. Rose immediately goes to the new location and tells Leah that she must see her daughter during the remaining time. Leah arrives at her daughter's new house and waits quietly, bracing herself for the worst. After some time passes, the situation grows tense and uncertain. The machines suddenly stop working and Leela passes away. The scene shifts to Tamarin's house, where Leah arrives. Because of their close friendship, Leah is invited inside to make coffee for the family. Meanwhile, Rose is brought to Tamarin's home as well. They notice that Leela is missing from her bed, and suspicion grows. When they open the freezer, they find Leela's body preserved inside. Leah tries calling Leela, but she doesn't answer. While making coffee, Leah suddenly experiences severe stomach pain, causing her to hurry through the task. As the family prepares to leave, Leah secretly mixes medicine into the coffee. As soon as the medicine takes effect, Leah collapses, crying out for help. An ambulance is called immediately. Leah contacts Australia, her trusted nurse, so no one suspects foul play. Emily is taken away in the ambulance, a scene that mirrors the opening of the movie. The doctors decide to take the child from Emily, intending to save the baby by filling Tamarin's entire stomach. This procedure puts Tamarin's life in grave danger. Meanwhile, Leah calls Dr. Rose and asks her to go to the pathology department where the family's bodies were taken for post-mortem. There, Rose obtains a large quantity of the rare blue serum needed to revive Leela. After carefully disposing of the evidence, Rose returns to Leah's room. When her friends ask if she managed to get everything, Leah reassures them that they now have plenty of time and all the materials they need. Together, they take Leela's body out of the freezer and administer the serum once again, shocking her multiple times with the defibrillator. After a moment of fear and suspense, Leela finally awakens. Welcoming her back to life, they embrace this miraculous moment, and this is where the movie ends. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future stories.